Yo, what's up, you guys? So the Steam Deck is considered by many people to be the best, or if not the most popular handheld PC on the market right now, and that's for a few different reasons. One of them, I think the main reason, has to do with the user experience, or Steam OS. So Steam OS has to be in the top as far as a handheld PC when it comes to managing your games and also managing your device settings for performance and different things like that. There are other handhelds on the market that try to give you a similar experience, like the ROG Ally with the Armory Crate, as well as devices like Aya Neo with Aya Space. But one of my favorite user experience on a Windows handheld has to be on devices like the AOKZOE or the OneXplayer line with the Onexconsole software. It is getting us very close to a Steam Deck like experience on a Windows handheld. Now, of course, it's not one-to-one comparison, and SteamOS is very optimized, and it does have some features that still push it ahead, but I think we are getting very close on Windows handheld. And I want to talk about a huge update that just came to Onexconsole on the AOKZOE as well as the OneXplayer devices that make it, in my mind, a great user experience as far as having a handheld that is running Windows. So let's talk about some of the updates that I think take this thing to the next level and make it just a little bit closer to the convenience and user experience that you get on the Steam Deck. So yeah, let's talk about this huge update. This is big, you guys. So the big main updates have to do with the actual controller. So in the Onexconsole now, you have the ability to map your controller. That's right. You can map every single button on your controller to be whatever other button or function that you would like. So as you can see here, we have the buttons. So I can make these buttons anything I want it to be. I can make the A button any button on the keyboard if I would like. I can even make it a function button. Like I can make it volume up if I want. Now that's kind of like a crazy situation, but if I would like, as you can see here, let me close this out. And now the A button is the volume up button. So as I press A, it's now volume up. I don't know why you would do that, but you do have the ability to make the buttons anything that you would like, which is handy if you're playing a game that needs like keyboard inputs and is not sort of in Steam. If you don't want to go through the trouble of mapping it through Steam, you can now map all of your keys on here and get a better experience. Now, as far as controller goes, another huge update that the Onexconsole brings as far as controllers goes is the fact that you can now open it with any controller. Now, this doesn't really seem like a big deal on the surface, but it actually is a very big deal. And now you can see if I hold down the back button or select and press X, it is going to open up that menu. Now, the reason why this is such a big deal is because if you're using an external controller, you can now open the Onexconsole. You can now do that all with any controller. So this is huge because the OneXplayer 2, it's not very ergonomic. And in my review, I talked about how if you're playing the game like this and you want to adjust your settings and get into this menu here, you have to pretty much take your hand off of the device, and now it's pretty much being supported by one side, and then you have to press this button up the top to access that. But with this new update, you just hold down select or back, press X, and that is going to bring up the menu no matter what you're doing and what you're in, and it doesn't matter what controller you are using. As long as the controller is connected to the device, it will bring up that menu. And the reason why that's so big on the OneXplayer is because we all know that the controller can be disconnected. So once you disconnect the controller, you can still open up that menu even without touching the device, because if you had to do it before, you'd have to actually rest the controller down, pick it up, and press that button to bring up that menu. But now you can bring up that menu just by pressing select and X with any controller. Let me show you that with the attachment. Okay, as you can see here, I have the OneXplayer 2 controller with the attachment. So now you can actually control this and open up the menu just by using the select and X button. You don't even have to touch the device anymore to do that. So before, if you're playing, from across the table or across the room, or maybe it's connected to your TV, you'd have to actually get up and go press that turbo button that's on the top to actually, open that up. But now with the new update, you can just hold select or back, press the X button, and you can even get into the console mode all of the options can now be accessed through the controller, which is a huge improvement as far as usability and user experience. Now, on to the main update that makes this huge, exciting update, and that is the fact that we now have gyro built into the One X console. We have gyro built in, that's right, gyro is now built into the device, and so by default you have a few options here. You can enable the gyro and it can emulate the mouse. So I can turn that on right now to emulate the mouse. And as you can see here, as I rotate the device, it is going to move the mouse there. You can even set it up to be a left trigger press. So when I press the left trigger, that is going to activate the mouse. And that is great because in games that support controller and mouse, it does work amazing. And then you also have the option to have it emulate an Xbox controller. So that's good for games that are not Steam native, as well as the DS4. So that's a PS4 controller, and that's going to allow you to map the control for the gyro in Steam natively. So let me just show you the gyro right now because I'm excited for this. Let me show you the gyro in a few different applications, a few different games, and so you can just see how that works. Okay, so I'm in Returnal now using the mouse mode for gyro, and as you can see here, when I hold down the left trigger, so that's aiming in this game, I can actually use the gyro now to move around the aiming. So this is actually emulating a mouse because Returnal does allow for controller and mouse input simultaneously, so you can see the touchscreen sort of emulates a mouse click and mouse drag, so it's going to be shooting and looking because the touchscreen is like a mouse click. But with the gyro activated in mouse mode, as I move this around, I actually have control of the aiming, and you can also adjust the sensitivity. So that is great to see. As you can see, you can adjust the sensitivity. So if I turn that all the way up to 100, you're going to now see that it's going to be a little bit more sensitive, and then I can bring that down. I can bring that down lower, so it's going to be much less sensitive, as you can see here. So that's pretty low. And if I use the gyro, as you can see, it's much harder to actually move it. So you can fine tune that as you would like. So now let's look at the Xbox emulation with the gyro for a game like Call of Duty. Okay, so now I am in Call of Duty. This is Cold War. This is the only Call of Duty I have on Battle.net right now. So I'm using the Xbox controller emulation, and as you can see here, I am actually able to control the aiming with the gyro. So check this out. Okay, so yeah, the gyro is pretty good. So you can use the stick to find your target and then use the gyro to get that last little bit of fine-tuned control. Now let's look at the PS4 controller version that has direct Steam input support. Let's check that out. Okay, so now with the gyro set to DS4 or PS4 controller, you can now see that we actually have a PS4 controller that's actually showing up in Steam, and we can actually control all of the gyro settings in Steam directly. So you can adjust, what button activates it, the sensitivity, all of that within Steam natively when you set it to DualShock 4 mode. So let's play a game with this DualShock 4 PS4 controller mode enabled and see how it is. Okay, so we're playing Borderlands right now, and as you can see here, I'm able to move and do all of my usual controls. But as soon as I hold down that left trigger, I now have access to use the gyro as my aiming. So now I can sort of get that aim, and you can dial it in based on your preferences. But now I have the ability to even use like a sniper to aim down range. And okay, so I'm actually in a fight right now. So let's see if we can put this to the test. Let's see if we can put this to the test, you guys. So as you can see, I'm using the gyro, and I'm actually able to get my target. and aim like that. So yeah, I don't want to take too much of your time, you guys. This video is probably long enough already, but these are just some huge updates with the One X console that I think really take the user experience to the next level. So being able to use any controller now to open that menu, as you can see here, being able to utilize the gyro, not just with the mouse, but also with the Xbox emulation, as well as PS4 emulation. This is going to cover any games. So even if you're emulating games, even if you're using something like Yuzu for emulation, other emulators, you can actually be able to use the gyro in any game across the system with these options. And also just this game mode here, I think this is a great option, just being able to have all your games here. I think this looks even better than the Armory Crate in my opinion, just because it's more colorful. It just seems more like I want to say like user friendly, because the way that the artwork is there and everything like that. I will say that the Steam Deck still has some benefits because of things like plugins and community support and things like that, but I think Windows handhelds are getting much closer now. The only thing that's missing from this that will make it perfect in my opinion is per game settings. Now it has automatic TDP, which is going to adjust the TDP just to meet a certain frame rate, but I think if we had game specific settings, like each game I can set it to be like this TDP or TDP range, I think that would make this perfect in my opinion. That's the only thing missing from devices like this. Now the AYN Loki Max does have per game TDP settings, but it is lacking some other features. But I think we have everything we need on the Windows side to almost match the Steam Deck, or bring the user experience to a level that is sort of, I guess, optimal for the Windows side. We have the integrated gyro, we have the game launcher, we have the TDP adjustment, we have per game settings on the other devices. I think if we just brought all of those features to the One X console, I think it would be the best of all worlds. Now again, my second favorite would have to go to the AirSpace 2, because that is lacking some features, but it does also have additional features. But I think as far as simplicity, user experience, I think the One X console is an amazing software for these Windows handhelds, and we're just getting that much closer to being at the level of user experience that the Steam Deck offers. Now I don't think Windows in this current state will ever overtake the Steam Deck until there's a gamer focused version, but for now I think situations and setups like this make it an amazing experience on these Windows devices in the meantime. Anyway, leave a comment so we can talk about this. If you're gonna update, make sure you guys update, because that's going to give you the best experience. And also do all that great YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, ring that bell, and stay tuned for more Barely Average Dude content. The Legion Go is on the way, and also the ANEO Kun, that is going to definitely replace the ANEO 2S for me, is on the way. I'm excited for the Kun. It should be shipping, I guess, in a week or two, and we should have that in the building very soon. And the Legion Go, of course, is coming. So yeah, leave a comment, like, subscribe, ring that bell, all that good YouTube stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.